LinkedIn Sales Navigator is by far the best tool to find leads. You've got millions of users. Just let me check. Oh, wow, it's actually 1.1 billion members. I'm sure that a ton of them might be the perfect leads for you, but the big problem with this tool is this. Tons of different filters, old and unfriendly interface, no way to export your leads and get their emails. Honestly, it's easy to give up. So in this video, I will show you a step-by-step tutorial on how to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to generate leads. I will start this video by showing you the basics of LinkedIn Sales Navigator, like how to do a lead search and then how to export your leads and get their verified emails. Then I will show you the intermediate level where I will show you how to save your search, how to create a list of leads, and how to use the account filters so that you can better identify decision makers in specific companies. Finally, and I keep the best for the end of this video, I will show you some advanced techniques to leverage the intent data of your LinkedIn account and reach out to warm leads. So at the end of this video, you will be able to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator to identify your best leads, and at the end, get a clean leads file with all the data you need, like first name, last name, LinkedIn URL, LinkedIn ID, and of course, the verified emails of your leads. So now it's time to start. All right, so we are currently on the homepage of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So the first thing you want to do if you want to identify your leads is to click here on lead filters. Just before I show you some filters, I just want to tell you the differences between the lead filters and the account filters. The lead filters apply for a person and the account filters applies for a company. So when you use the account filters, you will find on the right part of your screen, you will find people. And when you use the account filters, you will get companies on your right. But now let's start with the lead filters. As I told you, on the left part of your screen, you will find all the filters that you can use to find some leads. And on the right part of your screen, you will find the leads that match your filters. So for example, let's say that I want to target CEO, then you will see that on the right part of my screen, I have a list with all the CEO. On the top right of your screen, you can see the number of people who match your filters. So in my case, I have more than 6 million results. Now let's have a look at the most commonly used filters. So we have this one, company headcount. So you can choose the size of the business you want to target. For example, you can say that you only want to target companies with a headcount between 51 people to 500 people. So let's do that. On the right part of my screen, I have all the people who are working in a company with a headcount between 51 to 500 people. And you see that we have more than 100 million results. Now let's remove this filter. The next filter that you will use almost every time is current job title. So this one is very important because this is exactly here where you can say that you want to target, for example, CEO, founder, head of sales, chief marketing officer, and so on. So what you can do with this filter is to write what you want, for example, CEO, and then LinkedIn suggests chief executive officer. Then you can click on include. And now you will see something very interesting with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So you want people who are chief executive officer, but here, for example, you have founder and CEO. That's exactly what we want. But you see, for example, that we have director of fixed income, which is not chief executive officer. Same here, adjunct professor. You have here chairman, here VG Trust Global Advisory Board member, actually not a CEO. And the big problem with LinkedIn Sales Navigator is that it gives you some people who don't match your filters. So one of the best way to get better results in your search is to not use what LinkedIn suggests, but to use Boolean operators. With LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you have 5 Booleans that you can use. You have and, or, not, quotes, and you have brackets. For this tutorial, I won't dive into the details of the Boolean operators in LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you want to learn everything about Boolean operators, you can click on the top right of your screen. But for now, I want to focus on the simplest way to use Boolean operators in the current job title filter. So basically, we will only use quotes. So if we take our previous example and let's say that we want to target people who are CEO, then what you need to do is to write quote, then CEO and quote, and then you press enter. So with this technique, you will get better results. So for example, this page only contains people who are CEO. It won't be 100% perfect every time, but at least it improves a lot your results. Now, let's take another example and let's say that we want to target people who are head of marketing and people who are head of sales. If we want to do that, we need to use the quote. Then we write head of marketing. We close the quote. Then we press enter. And now here I need to write head of sales. I close the quote. So basically, when you do this search, you say, I want people with the current job title head of marketing or head of sales. And you can see on the right that it works well. Head of sales, head of marketing, head of sales, head of sales, head of marketing, head of marketing. So with this technique, you don't need to make something complex to identify your ideal customers. The next really useful filter is, of course, geography. So here you can target people based where they are. So for example, you can say that you want to target people in the US. And here, as you can see on the left, we have people based in New York, in Seattle, Greater Boston, and so on. If you need to narrow down your search and be more specific, you can say, for example, you want people based in New York, United States. And now you will get only people who are based in New York. So New York, New York, New York. And I think you get the point. Now that you know how to use company headcount, current job title, and geography, I want to talk about this filter industry because it leads to so many mistakes. On the paper, industry looks very useful because you can say, okay, I want to target companies who are in the financial services. And you click here. The big problem with this filter is that you target the industry of the lead and not the industry of the company. And most of the time, you want to target the industry of a company and not in which industry is someone. To show you that this industry filter is bad, I've created an example. So we are now on my LinkedIn profile. And now if I click here, you see that here we have a section industry and it's banking. I've decided for this tutorial to put my industry as banking. And now if you want to target people who are into banking, you will find someone like me who are not working in the banking industry. So the problem with this filter is that you can write what you want. So it's banking here, but I can change it, for example, right now in investment banking. To give you another example, most people use the industry of their job. For example, if they studied marketing, they are currently working in marketing, they will put in this field industry marketing, but they might be working for a company that sells computer software for accountants. And then once you are on LinkedIn Sales Navigator and you want to target companies that are in the marketing services, you write marketing services. And at the end, guess what? You reach out to people who are not your ideal customers, and they will never buy your services, products, or whatever. So take care with this industry filter, and don't worry, because in a few minutes I will show you how to target industry, but this time based on the company and not on the people. Now that you know the most commonly used filters to make a lead search, it's time to see how to export these people and get their verified emails. So unfortunately on LinkedIn, you can't export your leads, and I guess that you don't want to do that manually. So if you want to export your leads and get their verified emails, you can go on GiveMeLeads.io, or you can click in the first link in the description. Then you will be on this page where you can create your account. And once you've created your account, you need to connect your LinkedIn account. So you go here and you click on Connect LinkedIn account. Then you need to enter your credentials and then click on Login. Then you need to install the Chrome extension to get a button on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Extract Leads. So we click here on Install Extension, add to Chrome, and then add extension. Once you install the GiveMeLeads Chrome extension, you just need to refresh your LinkedIn Sales Navigator page. And you see that now we have a button Extract Leads. And that's exactly what we want to do, because now we want to extract this search. So my search is, I want people with the current job title, head of marketing or head of sales. They are working in a company with a headcount between 500 to 1,000 people, and I want people based in the US. Then I go here and click on Extract Leads, and I will be redirected to my GiveMeLeads account. Then I click on Continue, and here I click on Save and Export. Here I can give the number of people I want to export. So let's say 200 people. And then I click on Export Leads. My export is currently running. I just want to rename it. So I will say Head of Marketing and Head of Sales. And now I just need to wait a little bit and my export will be ready. All right, so as you can see, my export is done. And now if I want to access my list of leads, I just need to go here on download, and then I click on download CSV. In this file, you have the list of all the leads from your LinkedIn Sales Navigator search. And here you have some information about your leads, like the first name, last name, LinkedIn URL, LinkedIn ID. You have the email of your leads. You have the status of the email, for example, verified here. You have the job title, location, profile picture URL. You have is premium, is open, headline, and much more informations. Especially you have some company informations like company name, company LinkedIn ID, company website. Very useful if you want to personalize your outreach. You have company location, company industry, company employee count, company specialties, and so on. Now with GiveMeLeads, we do two things. So basically the first thing we do is to clean all the data. So for example here, first name, last name, and company name, you don't have any problems with capital letters or with emojis in the name. So you don't have Evan with an emoji rocket. So with this feature, you don't waste your time to clean manually your data, because GiveMeLeads does that for you. The second thing we do is to check if the lead is valid or not. So basically, when you export leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, sometimes LinkedIn gives you bad results. So basically, LinkedIn gives you between 20 to 40% of people that don't match perfectly your filters. And with GiveMeLeads, we tell you if a lead is valid. For example, here in the column filters, we know that this lead Evan is valid. So it means that Evan matches perfectly my filters. But then we tell you if someone is invalid. So you have here, for example, invalid job title or invalid company size. For example, let's check Bill. So Bill is invalid job title here. And let's check his job title. Yeah, director of sales enablement, and basically he is not head of sales. So with this feature, you know if a lead matches perfectly your filters or not, and you can decide to reach out to someone based on their informations. So for example, you might want to reach out to Bill because yeah, he is not head of sales, but he is head of sales enablement, and you can decide to reach out to him, or you can decide, no, Bill is not my ideal customer. So with this feature, you don't waste your time to check manually each lead if they match perfectly your filters. And at the end, you're sure to only reach out to people who are interesting for you. At the end, when you have a file like this one, you can decide either to upload it in your CRM or your favorite outreach tool. So if you want to easily export your leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, get verified emails, and get, of course, clean data, you can try GiveMeLeads, and for that, you just need to click in the first link in the description. And now that you know the basics of LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I want to show you the intermediate level of LinkedIn Sales Navigator. The first feature I want to show you is how to save your search. So basically, when you are on LinkedIn Sales Navigator and you use some filter, so for example, let's say that you want to target company headcount between 51 to 200 people, current job title CEO, in New York, and you only want people who posted on LinkedIn. So you've spent some time to do your search, and then you move to account, then you move to the homepage of LinkedIn Sales Navigator and so on. And when you go back to the lead filters page, then you lost everything. So if you want to save your search, you will see that it's very easy. So I will do a new search. I've just made a new search. If you want to save your search, you just need to go here, save search to get notified of new results. You just need to toggle this. And here on the bottom left, you see that your search was saved. If you want to see all of your searches, you just need to click here on Manage Save Searches. Or if you don't have this pop-up here, you just need to go here and click on Saved Searches. And I'm gonna do that. So here I have the search that I've just made, and you see here the filters I've used. If you want to give a name to your search, you just need to click on the pen and modify the text. And if you want to delete your saved search, you just need to click on delete. But now let's say that I'm happy with that. And now if I want to check my search, I just need to go in my search and click on view. So for example, here I have a search, Head of Marketing United States. And if I click on view, I will have the filters I've used for this search. And basically it's Head of Marketing as a current job title based in the US. What's very interesting with this feature is that you will get notified when someone new matches your filters. So in this case, Head of Marketing US, you see that I have 141 new results since the end of August. And if I want to check specifically these people, these new people that I want to reach out to, I just need to click here. And here I have a list of the new people who match my filters. A good practice for this feature is to check at the beginning of each month the new leads that match your filters, and then you reach out to them. And basically, it's an easy way to identify new leads that match your filters. Now, the second feature I want to show you is how to save your leads into a list. And for that, I've made a new search. So it's company headcount between 200 and 1,000 people. Current job title, head of sales. Geography, I want people based in the US. And I want people who recently changed their jobs. You can see that with this search, I have 106 results. And now if I want to add these people into a list of leads, I just need to go here and click on Select All. Then I click on Save to List. And now I have to click on Create a new list. Here I have to give a list name. I give the filters I used in my search, and list description. I write LinkedIn DM and cold call because that's what I want with these people. Then I click on Create and Save. And now you can see that these people are in one list. And if I click on one list, you see it's in the new list I've created. Now, if I want to add 106 results, I have to go here on the bottom of the page, click on the page number 2, Then I click on Select All, Save to List, and here I click on the recently used list, head of sales, US, and so on. And now you can see that I have 50 people in it. With LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you have 25 results per page, and you can go up to 100 pages. So now I have to do that for the page number 3, 4, and 5, and unfortunately I have to do the process over and over until the page number 5. I've just finished to add the leads in my list, and now you see that we have 105 results. You see that we miss one lead, but sometimes it happens with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Now, if you want to see your list of leads, you have to go here on top and click on leads. On this page, you have all your lead list, and the one I've just created is here. And if I want to see all my leads in this list, I just need to click on it. On this page, you have the details of your list of leads. So you have the name, the account, so basically the company, geography. You can write some note, for example, meet him at an event. Then you click on done. You have outreach activity and date added. And here actions, you can click on the 3 dots and make some actions like sending a message, connect, add to another list, and so on. Now, if you want to use your list of leads, you just need to go here in lead filters, and then you scroll a little bit, and in workflow, you have lead list. And you can select the one we've just created. So you can say you want people, head of sales, US, change jobs, and so on. And you can click on include. And now on the right, you have the people in your list. Of course, if you want to narrow down your search and make something more specific, you can add more filters. For example, if you want to only target people who posted on LinkedIn recently, you can toggle this. And here you only have people that are in your list and who posted on LinkedIn recently. But you can say, for example, that you only want to get people who are in your second or third degree network. So basically, it depends a lot of what you want to do and who you want to target. Now that you know how to save your search and create a list of leads, it's time to see how to use the industry filter. And for that, you see that we will move on from lead to the account filters. So basically, with the account filters, you can target specific companies based on their attributes. It works exactly the same way as the lead filters. So you have a list of account filters here. So for example, annual revenue, not very useful to be honest, company headcount growth, headquarters location, industry, number of followers, department headcount growth, fortune, technology used, and you have much more filters here. And basically, it's the same. So for example, you can say company headcount, I want between 200 to 500 people. And the difference between the lead filters and the account filters is that now on the right part of your screen, you will have companies and not leads. A very good use case to use the account filters is when you want to target specific companies, and I will give you an example. Let's say that we want to target big companies with at least 5,000 people in it. So I will do that. And here I want more than 10,000 people. Now, let's say that I want companies that are growing. And why we want that? It's because most of the time they have much more money than companies that are decreasing. So let's say that we want a company headcount growth with at least 5%. Then we click on add. And here you can see on the top right of your screen that we have the numbers of companies that match my filters. So here we have more than 4,000 results. So let's continue and add more filters. So headquarters, location, let's say that I don't care. So industry, this one is very, very, very useful. And this is how it works when you want to target specific industries. You will need to use this account filter here, industry. This time, the industry filter is based on the company and not on the people or the lead. For this tutorial, let's say that I want to target, software development. So here on the right part of my screen, you can see that it's software development, software development, software development, and so on. And now you can see that we have only 121 results in it. So now what I want to do is to save my search, and this time it's an account search, and you will see that it works exactly the same way. I just need to toggle this button, and here I can manage my saved searches. Now what we want to do is to create an account list, and it's very important to do that because now what I want to do is to identify decision makers in these companies. So if we want to do that, we need to go here at top and click on select all, and then we click on save to list. So you see it's exactly the same. You need to go here and click on create a new list, and this time it's an account list. Now I have to give a name for my list. So let's say enterprise software development, and then I click on create and save. And now if I want to add these results here, I have to go here on the bottom of the page, click on the page number 2, then click on select all, save to list, and we select the list enterprise software development. And I have to do that for all the pages. Now that I have all the accounts in my list enterprise software development, I want to check the details of this list. And for that, you just need to go on accounts. On this page, you have all your account list. You have the name of your account list, the accounts, and last time updated. If you want to check the details of a list, you just need to click on it. So let's click on enterprise software development. And here, if you scroll a little bit, you will have the details of your account list. So you have the name of the company, connection path, alerts, note, lead recommendations, and so on. Now, if you want to identify decision makers in your account list, you need to go on lead filters. And now the first thing you need to do is to go here in workflow, and then in account list, you need to select the name of your account list. So in my case, it's enterprise software development, and you will see on the right part of my screen all the people that are currently working in the companies that are in my account list, enterprise software development. And you see that right now we have more than 2 million people in it. And why it's that huge? It's because it's big companies. Now, if you want to identify decision makers in these companies, you can of course use the filters I've showed you before. So what I want to do is of course to use the current job title, and let's keep it simple and say that we want to target head of sales. Then we press enter. And then on the right part of my screen, I have all the people that are head of sales in my account list, enterprise software development. With this workflow where at the beginning you select the type of companies you want to work with, and then you identify decision makers in these companies, you know that you can target exactly your ideal customers. And now we know that these people on the right part of my screen are currently working in a company where the industry is software development. Now let's add one more filter, and I will use posted on LinkedIn because I want to reach out to people who are very active on LinkedIn. So I will toggle this. And now if I want to extract these people, get their email, and basically get them in a list, I just need to go here on top and click on extract leads. Then I click on continue, save and export. And now I say that I want all of them, so 148 leads. And then I just need to click on export leads. I will just rename my export. So we target head of sales in big companies in the industry software development. Now I just need to press enter and wait until my export is finished. All right, so the export is done. And now if I click on download and then download CSV, we have basically the list of all the head of sales based in a company industry software development. So if I go here and look at company industry software development, that's exactly what we want to target. So with this workflow, you can easily target decision makers in a specific industry, get their verified emails, and then you can reach out to them to try to pitch your services or products. All right, so now I want to show you some advanced filters that you can use on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And basically, these filters are what we call intent data. So on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you have a lot of filters that you can use. So what we call intent data filters are filters that will give you people who already know you or people who are most likely to buy your product or service. The first intent data filter is following your company. So you just need to toggle this button and you will get people on the right who are following your company. It's very useful to reach out to these people because they already follow your company page and they might have a good idea of what you're doing, and you will get a much higher reply rate when you reach out to these people. Of course, I recommend you to add some filters to narrow down your search and only get people who are interesting for you. The next intent data filter is viewed your profile recently. And basically, this filter is very useful because these people already know your first name, last name, your profile picture. They might have a good idea of what you're doing. So when you reach out to these people, you will get a much higher reply rate. The next intent data filter is connection. And basically on LinkedIn, you have 3 levels of connections. So you have the first degree connections. So it's basically people who are in your LinkedIn network. Then you have second degree connections. So it's people who are connected to someone who is in your first degree connections. And finally, third degree connections are people with who you have no mutual connections. What I recommend you to do is to target people who are in your first degree connections. Basically, they might have a good idea of who you are, what you do, and the good point when you reach out to people who are in your first degree connections is that you can send them a message directly on LinkedIn. You don't need to send a connection request because you can already send them a message for free. Honestly, reaching out to your first degree connections is one of the best way to quickly book sales call with your ideal customers. So just put first degree connection and then, for example, check who are CEO or decision maker like head of sales or what you want, and you will see that some might be useful for you. So in my case, I have 35 results. So 35 people in my first degree connections who are CEO. In my case, it's not a lot, but if you are active on LinkedIn or you have your LinkedIn account for more than 10 years, you will have a lot of people that are interesting for you. Finally, the last intent data filter I want to show you is connections off. And basically with this filter, you can see who are in the network of someone. So for example, I can add someone who is in my first degree connection. So for example, Romain Silvestre. And on the right part of my screen, I will have all the people who are in the first degree network of Romain Silvestre. This filter here is very useful because you can target your competitors and see who are in their network. Or what you can do, and you can try that, is to add someone who is influencer in your market, and you can reach out to people who are interesting for you. And why it's useful to do that? Because these people who follow the influencer already know the pain you are solving. The main problem with this filter is that you can only select people one by one. So Romain here, and now let's say I want to add, I don't know, Benjamin, for example. And here you can see it removes Romain. So if you want to export the leads that are interesting for you in, I don't know, let's say 3 of your competitors, you have to do 3 exports. So basically these intent data filters are very useful, but for each of them, you need to do 1 export. So 1 export for people who follow your company, 1 export for people who viewed your profile recently, 1 export for your first degree connections, and finally 1 export for each of the people you want to see their connections. And that's why with GiveMeLeads, we made it as simple as possible to get these intent data filters and don't make like 5 exports. So if you want to use these intent data filters and not do like 5 exports, you just need to give some filters, but not intent data filters. So let's take a simple example, and let's say you want to target CEO. Then if you want to check the CEO who follow your company, then view your profile, then see you in your first degree connection, and finally the see you in, I don't know, 3 of your competitors. Yeah, it takes some time and it's boring. So basically with GiveMeLeads, it's very simple. You just write see you, then you click on extract leads, then you click on continue. And this is on this screen where you can say, okay, I want to get people in my first degree connections. I want people who saw my profile. I want to get people who follow my company, and I want people in my competitors' network. And then here you just need to give the LinkedIn URL of your competitor. For example, let's say that I want to check who are the CEO in Romain Silvestre's network. So let's copy his LinkedIn profile URL and then we paste it here. And then let's say we want to do the same with Benjamin. So we copy and then paste. And then what you can do is to say, okay, I want to get more profile viewers and less first degree connection. So with this configuration, you will get more profile viewers than first degree connections, for example. And then what you need to do is to click on save and export. Then you can say, for example, you want only 100 leads, and then you click on export leads. I just rename intent data. Then I just need to wait a little bit and I will show you the intent data results. All right, so the export is done. And this time I choose to open in Google Sheet. So you have the first name, last name, profile picture, company, job title, headline, LinkedIn URL, and a verified email. And here you know for each lead where they comes from. So for example, these leads are in my first degree connection network. Then these leads are in my competitors network. Here it's profile viewers, then company followers, and finally Sales Navigator. So what's good with that is that you have all the intent data in just one file and you can take specific actions depending on where the leads come from. For example, you want to do some cold calling for people who are in your first degree connections. So of course, it depends a lot of what you want to do, your business, and the way you want to reach out to these people. But at least you have everything you need to reach out to these people. So with this LinkedIn Sales Navigator tutorial, you have everything you need to generate more leads. If you want to try GiveMeLeads, you can go on givemeleads.io or you can click in the first link in the description. And now it's time for me to wish you the best and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.